Thursday, January 14th. There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps closing down about 13 points, stocks saw some aggressive selling heading into Power Hour. Will the selling continue into Friday's session? Let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over the top stocks of the day. We take a look at overnight trade, and we saw a range of about 14 points. So for the most part, nothing really happened in the night session. This boring tape rolled into the cash hours, and it wasn't until Power Hour we saw some aggressive selling. Now, when we take a look at the SPX and see where we stand on the week, we came into this week expecting 77 points. 77 up would take us to 3,900, and 77 down would take us to 3,747. Now, for the most part, we've just kind of been going sideways the first 4 days of trade, near that midline on the week at around 38.24. However, we've been down in the entire session this week. Now, if we do see some selling, look for this lower edge to play very strong support at 37.50, call it. So, will this selling pick up going into tomorrow's trade? If so, it's going to be done on technology. So let's cruise on over to the NASDAQ and see what's going on. And we take a look at the NASDAQ, and it is down over 0.6%. So the NASDAQ is our worst performing index on the day. And when we compare this to the Big Five, the Big Five today is down over 1.2%. So we can clearly see it's doubling the NASDAQ, and it's definitely putting stress on our S&Ps because all 5 of these stocks are in the NASDAQ and the S&P. You see Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, all taking it to the chin today. We even have Tesla down over 1%, and Tesla's now big enough to mention because this market cap is larger than Facebook. Tesla, however, is a clean energy stock. It falls under the umbrella, so maybe it could do some saving tomorrow's trade. However, keep your eyes on these 4 or 5 companies, and if they continue to roll over, it's going to put a lot of stress on this market. Let's cruise on over to the Russell and see how it did today. And we can see the Russell today is up close to 2% on the day. It's our only index that is green today, and it is just inching day by day, putting in a new all-time high. When we take a look at it on a year to date, it's already up over 10.5% on the year. It's our leading index so far in 2021, and the small caps have been doing a lot of catching up since the latter part of 2020. It rolled into this year, and they've been on fire. When we take a look at some of our sectors, we can see the XLE is just singing today, up close to 3%. It is knocking on the door at putting in a very big cup back from June at around $47. XLE was down yesterday, but it's picking up this beautiful trend higher. What else was up today? Well, financials were up close to 0.5%. Seeing energy and financials green is what you want to see in this marketplace to keep it intact. Even on days technology is down, as you can see, tech was down 0.88%. We're being helped by the financials and the energy, as well as software stocks. It's worth mentioning the software stocks close to up 1% on the day. A lot of these software stocks are baked into the Russell. Now, they've outgrown their market caps of $2 billion, so it needs to be rebalanced, which it won't be till June. But in the meantime, they're in the Russell, and they are help lifting it higher. So with our sectors mixed for the most part, how did our advanced decline line shape out today? And we can see it's another 55-45 day. 55 advancing, 47 declining, but we're seeing a lot of help from energy and the financials. They're doing a big boost in the S&P 100, and it's helping keeping this marketplace from bleeding as much, because when you have technology down as much as it is, this marketplace can open right up at the seams. However, we're also seeing some weakness from healthcare, from materials, utilities, consumer staples, communications, and consumer discretionary. So we're seeing a lot of weakness across the board, but the theme of energy and financials continue to go higher. So with all indexes down except for the Russell, how did our bonds perform? And we see today that the bonds are down 0.65%. So we have 2 days up and one whoosh day down. These bonds retreated, and they're going back lower. When we see the bond price drop, we know the bond yield is going to rise. So we look at the TNX, and the TNX today was up close to 4%. After having 2 down days, it's making a nice move higher. Keep your eyes on the TNX going forward, because Higher yield is going to put the Federal Reserve in a very sticky situation. Let's cruise on over to the Volatility Index and see how it did today. And we can see the VIX futures are up close to 2%. However, these are no good. There's just 6 days left in these. We'll be rolling into these February's next week. So we want to look at the VVIX, and the VVIX gives us a better read on vol, and it's up over 4% today, sitting at a 122 level. For the most part, the VVIX has been in a consolidation box for about a month now. So is this just the new norm, shuffling around here with wide swings? It could be. Keep your eyes on what the VVIX does tomorrow, because if we can break higher into the 125, this is a marketplace that can open right at its seams, and we could be knocking into the 140s with a lot of panic selling. So with equities mixed and bonds down, how did the dollar index perform today? And we see the dollar index is down about 0.2%, sitting at a 90.18. It's hovering right above that 90 handle. The dollar just doesn't want to die just yet. When we look at some commodities, we can see crude oil today was up over 1.36%, continuing its trend higher at 53.63. This is a trade to watch. Higher crude oil prices is helping propel these energy stocks higher. How did gold do? With the red dollar, gold is actually down with the dollar, but for the most part, it's just resting. This is just healthy consolidation. I don't expect these metals to do quite a lot of moving until we see the deal announced for stimulus. Look for these metals to just kind of chop around in this range. It's going to take a lot to get them going again, and money printing will do that. And last but not least, we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was up almost 10% on the day, knocking on the door to 40K. I did do a BTC in 3 video. The link is in the description if you want a more in-depth analysis on where I see Bitcoin going. Check that video out. The link is below. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. Now, this market got action heading into Power Hour. We saw some Biden announcements, and he's going to be talking more about his $1.9 trillion stimulus deal tonight. So tune into that. You'll find more details on that plan. As for the money, he mentioned $1,400, the remaining balance of the $2K, will be distributed to the people. So more money into the consumer's pocket is good for stocks, and it's going to drive prices higher. Now, other than that, going into tomorrow, keep your eyes on the big tech names. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook. Can they keep it together? If they can't, we're going to need to see more lifting from the energies, the financials, and even software to keep this market just par. Other than that, let's dive right in and take a look at the top stocks of the day. So we go over to the scan tab, we hit scan, and we have 11 tickers that qualified today. Coming in at the number 3 stock of the day goes to SunPower Corp. Today, SunPower is up over 11% with the market cap just shy of $6 billion. On a year to date, this stock is up 38% to start the year off just nicely. Now, what does SunPower Corp do? Well, they're an American energy company that designs and manufactures crystalline silicone photovoltaic cells and solar panels. So this is a stock that falls under Biden's plan. It's going to fit the narrative just nicely. Now, when I look for news on this stock, I can't find any news today on it. However, it must be getting a boost with Biden's plan that's going to be announced. I also see that this stock is hard to borrow. So shorts are being punished today as this stock inches higher. You can see right out the gates, very aggressive moves higher. We trended higher and then even more into lunch. Other than that, this is a stock that's going to be hot this year. Now, when we take a look at it on an expected move, we're going into this week expecting $2.74. 2 sigma would put us around 34.04, which we're about $1 above that level. Maybe look for it to cool off and touch the 34 level before going higher. You can see today we just broke above that expected move on the week, which was $32. This is a stock that's going to be hard to go down, especially with clean energy bill on its way. Look for SunPower to continue its trend higher as this year unfolds. Coming in at the number 2 stock of the day goes to Beyond Meat. Today, Beyond Meat was up over 13.5%. With a market cap of $8.9 billion on a year-to-date, Beyond is up over 13%. So it basically got all of its lifting today in today's session. Some nice volume coming in it. What does Beyond Meat do? Well, they're a plant-based meat substitute company. So think about all your vegans and vegetarians out there. This is a stock that they must like to eat. Now, why is it higher today? Well, it just inked a deal with Taco Bell. So it's going to have 2 new menu items from what I was reading. So this is a great partnership for Taco Bell. Putting some Beyond Meat on their menu could drive this stock higher. Now, when we look at Beyond on an expected move, we came into this week expecting $5.24. A 4 Sigma move is 139.06, which were $3 and change higher than that. It just erupted off the news. You can see in yesterday's trade, we came up to that upper edge on the week, and we just rested there. With the news today, it propelled us higher. Also, keep your eyes, it's hard to borrow, so shorts are being punished again in this stock. It could potentially cool off to 140 before going higher, because I don't expect it to go straight up. The news is good, but it's not amazing news. Look for from profit takers tomorrow. If it comes down to 140, could be a nice entry if you want to get long. Coming in at the number 1 stock of the day goes to Virgin Galactic Holdings. Today, Virgin was up close to 20% with a market cap of $7.7 billion. On the year to date, this stock is up over 42%. Seeing a nice inflow of volume come in today. Now, what does Virgin do? Well, they're an aerospace company that provides human spaceflight for private individuals and researchers. Now, this is big volume. Why is it jumping today? Well, off yesterday's news in after hours of ARK Investment filing to the SEC to launch a space exploration ETF. So it's seeing some nice inflow of capital here today. When we throw it on an expected move, we were expecting $1.72. 4 standard deviations puts us at 32.10, and a 5 Sigma move is 33.82, which was 10 cents shy of the high today. So look for it to shuffle between the 4 and 5 Sigma on the week, which, if it does want to pull back, look for $32 to play a nice roll of support. However, bigger picture, this is a stock that's hard to borrow, and when we look on it further out, this is a beautiful cup that's forming here, and it could potentially be breaking out from the high in February. And if it does, Virgin Galactic could be heading to the moon. There you have it for the top stocks of the day. Did you get a chance to watch any of these tickers? If not, what are you looking at going into tomorrow's session? Comment that down below. I'd love to hear what you guys are trading and looking at. And if you watch this far, appreciate it, guys. If you throw me the thumbs up, it means a lot when you guys show some support. And if this is your very first time watching, guys, I do these every single day. Show some love. Hit that subscribe button. It will really put a smile on my face. And other than that, any comments, questions, feedback, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. But on that note, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.